Hello guys, and welcome back to The Sims 4, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Speed Builds. We're doing a house today, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Amanda, we're starting in the middle of a speed build. What is this? Where's the layout? Where is the actual build part? Where did you decide the theme? Good news, you're gonna see the theme change like 4 times because I had no idea what I was doing with my life. Bad news, I built this house in March, and I know I built it in March because I have like a singular screenshot that I like misclicked of the like layout in progress of this house in March. And then I forgot about this house and I found it recently and it continued to kick my rear end. This house was so hard to figure out. I still don't entirely know what its vibe is, I'll be honest with you. This house and we fought trying to figure out what its style was. But yeah, I have no footage of the build. I have no idea what I was thinking. I have no idea what the plan was. I do know kind of what I was thinking because I recognized it. The front facade is based on an ad for a local real estate company, and I would show you it, but it would dox me. So the front is like loosely based, and I think it's a stock image anyway, loosely based on the ad. So the front is weird, the back is weirder, the whole house has an odd vibe, but I like how it turned out, but it's weird, you know? It's like when you walk into your friend's house and you're like, this is really cool, but this is so like different than I would ever think of like a house to be, that you're like, this is really cool, and I'm not judging this house, but you're just like, this is odd as a house, you know? Like when you've always lived in like a one story and all of a sudden you go to a split level and you're like, there's a million stories to this house. That kind of thing, you know, like it's not bad. You're sitting here like, this is really interesting. So this is basically a little suburban. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It has a dining, a kitchen, a living space. It's pretty closed off. The kitchen's kind of weird, but it does function. And originally, when I started, like when I picked this back up, because I didn't really remember building it or anything like that, I struggled with what I wanted it to be. So at first I was just going to do everything kind of in builder's white and sort of present this to you as like, hey, here's a blank canvas. Go have fun. I don't remember why I built this. Dude, please enjoy. Like we're gonna stage it like, you know, we're trying to sell it at an open house. And then I got to the dining room and I started falling in love with it. And then I went back and I like styled it a little bit more. And it started getting its vibe. It's very sort of hodgepodge in like a family home kind of way. It doesn't feel super curated and styled. It feels very sort of like we've lived here for a while, we've put stuff in. So I am really happy about that. I have it currently set up for what I would do in this house personally is I would have parents of some description. I haven't really thought about them, but parents. And I would have 2 kids, but the one kid would probably be right on the edge of like aging up to a teenager. I did put a sneak out window in the back of this house. I did so intentionally because I was like, this house is already super weird, so I might as well just make it weirder. So there is a sneak out window in the back of the house. Now, here's the thing about the sneak out window. I've never successfully like just gotten it to work in gameplay. Like it'll work, but when you're trying to get your sim to sneak out, most of the time they'll just go to a door. So good luck actually getting them to sneak out onto the roof and then down the trellis. It'd be really good for gameplay if you can make it happen. So that's why I was thinking like a kid who's just about to turn into a teen, because I like my siblings to be pretty close, and the teen years and the kid years, they feel pretty disconnected. And I know people have talked about wanting like a tween life stage, and I go back and forth on that. I don't think we need another life stage. I think what we need is something that absolutely probably cannot happen with this engine, in that what we actually need is just like a progression through the life stage. Like if you think about it, and it's always kind of been this way, so I'm not judging them in any way, but like we have newborns, and then we have infants, and then we have toddlers, and they stay the same. Although I will say infants and toddlers feel like they progress because they go from just sitting on the ground to walking, and walking to talking, and you know, all of that. Kids are pretty static. Kids are just kids. They just age up into this weird little like half pint and they hang around for a while. And then teenagers just age up into basically adults, right? Like you just have this teenager who's basically an adult without driving privileges, you know? And like, I think the reason why it feels like there needs to be a tween life stage is because we need more things that progress a child through child stage. Like it needs to feel like they just came off being a toddler and now they're about to be a teen. And we need more things in the teenager that make it feel like we're going from that awkward like 13 stage to 17 or 18 stage, right? honestly, I think some of that would be, it'd be cool to have like, it'd be cool to have like height, like them go from kid height to adult height. I recognize that that's not something that can probably happen, but it would also be cool to see like some level of like skill building that has to happen in teens. Like, I know there's like school stuff and after school stuff, but it would be cool to just have like a progression in responsibility somehow. Like, maybe at the start of being a teenager, your kid still needs a babysitter, and then as they progress, like when they get like the bars halfway, suddenly they can be a babysitter or something. I don't know. Maybe like those part-time jobs, those unlock halfway through. I don't know how it would look. And like I said, I don't even think we have the infrastructure to do that in this game. But I always try to set it up where my teens are like younger and then they grow, and my kids are like younger and then they grow. But in this particular house, I imagined two pretty old kids. One turns into a teenager, so there's like an almost teen and like a brand new teen, you know, to make use of the sneak out window, but to also still make it like okay for them to be sharing kind of a little kid room. And then you can sort of grow it, you know, as you get your teen and stuff was kind of the idea. That was a really long-winded way to explain their bedroom. But the long and the short of it is the bedroom is still a little kid's bedroom, but kind of leaning towards we might be teens eventually. That's what I was kind of thinking. That's who I was imagining lived here. I didn't put any pet stuff in, but this would be a great house to have a pet in. I think that would be really fun. And I thought really long and hard about putting a treehouse in, but I don't think I ended up doing that, and I think it's because of the teen thing. And I was like, well, are they really gonna play with it because they're running, you know? So I don't know. But this would be a great lot to put a teen on. I can't remember the measurements for this lot, but it's in one of the like littler lots on Newcrest. So if you needed more space too, you could absolutely just plop this on a bigger lot and then add to it. There are plenty of places you could add to it. You could build off the kitchen. You could really easily build off the living room. There's a mudroom in the back, which could be expanded into something else, and the bathroom off the mudroom, you could expand that out, put the bathroom somewhere else, and have like a whole nother room. You could make an office or something like that. There are a ton of ways this house could grow in a really organic, nice way. Same with the upstairs, because it's already got a hallway. It would not be that difficult to expand off the back in a couple different directions. So this house has a lot of room to grow for a family. I think it has a lot of room to make that happen. The living room is the smallest space. It's a little tight, to be honest with you. It's I had to do like a little bit of testing. It does work, but I had so many things I wanted to stick in the living room that it sort of got to, and I will admit the layout's a little weird, but I think it turned out kind of cool. I went to town with the pillows. I went a little bit crazy with the pillows. The pillows are one of those things that I love that they give them to us. I'm so pleased. I'm so grateful. I'm not complaining at all. I really want to go into Sims 4 Studio and add like 30 more swatches. Not that I think the swatches they give us are bad, and I actually think it's really great they gave us all the base game swatches, because it allows me to pull some of the like harder to deal with colors from the earlier parts of the base game in and make them tie a little bit better. It's a really nice little like, what's the word I'm looking for? I've lost the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. It's a really nice way to pull everything together. Having said that, though, I'm just greedy and would like all of the colors. If I sound a little bit distracted, big dog, my beautiful Joe just walked in, and I can't remember if I've told you guys this on these particular videos or if I've talked about it strictly in the Minecraft stuff. Minecraft tends to get a little bit more of like the blow by blow news, because that happens every week. These get recorded more in batch. My sweet Joe had a very minor surgery. He's okay, but he has stitches. But he's been very spoiled the last week because of his stitches. And so he's being allowed to come in while I record, usually because he's such a zoomy kind of dog. He gets locked out of the office for the few minutes while I'm recording because he's quite loud. But he's in here very confused when I'm talking to my computer, but my work laptop isn't out. But he's a very special boy who did pretty good. Doing pretty good. I just had to like check on him, but he does sort of look like he's been hit by a weed whacker, which I find like equal parts kind of funny, because like the vet was like, it was kind of funny because the vet was like, this is absolutely not a big deal surgery at all. It's not even really a surgery. You'll be able to pick him up in a couple hours. And it was a whole day event. It was a whole day event with a lot more stitches than they told us, huh, Bean? Yeah. And Joe also got, because I knew he was going to have to be, he's a very zoomy dog, runs everywhere, wants to play in the water. He's my active little guy. I say little, he's 90 pounds, he's not little. I knew it was going to be hard for him to sit still for 2 weeks with these stitches, so I got him one of those snuffle pads. And I made the mistake of giving it to him 3 days in a row while he was first home. And now he comes in multiple times a day and like whacks at me with his paw. He's like, I want the snuffle pad. And I'm like, dude, you cannot have that much peanut butter in 1 week. It's gonna be evil in my house. Like the level of needing to go outside all the time is gonna be intense. So he's in here right now asking for the snuffle pad, I think. And I'm like, dude, no, I think we're gonna wait today. But he's doing good. He's a good boy. Looks like he has not been messing with his stitches. It's he's kind of technically supposed to wear a cone, but my vet's a realist and was like, yo, if you don't need it, then you don't need it. And we've been okay. So fingers crossed we stay okay. This front room ended up pretty beige, which was not my intention, but I think in like a simple family home where it's like, you know, like curated, I think a lot of family homes ends up kind of that warm beige, because I don't know about y'all, but I like the warmer whites and the warmer lights. But I don't necessarily want like an all beige home. I was still sticking with that theme in this house a little bit though. Like I said, I was going to paint everything builder's white and then go very staged. I didn't stick with that, but I did sort of stick with the very sort of neutral tones. I wasn't trying to go for like a beige family kind of home, but I was kind of going for a little bit more neutral so that a family could move in and like put what they wanted in, and it would mesh, you know. And I think it ended up looking like a little bit like early 2000s, like maybe 90s, early 2000s, which is also fine. I'm fine with it. I am a 90s baby, so it makes sense. But this room especially, I think you can kind of see the like, the sort of like, this is not the most like modern house vibes. And see, I went nuts with the pillows. I was having so much fun with those pillows, and I put more pillows in this basket, which I ended up changing how these looked a little bit. I think actually I moved that basket elsewhere. I can't remember. Or maybe I'll leave it. I wanted the extra seating, and I put the ottoman in the corner because I thought y'all could drag it. It's not a live drag item, but I thought y'all could drag it and then have more space, you know, if you wanted. Or you could put like the Christmas tree there, would be really cute, or like something like that. I'm gonna take a sip of my broth. I have warm broth today because I've been fighting a sore throat, and my grandma always said warm broth is the best thing to do because teas have like caffeine and stuff in them, and obviously coffee is not a thing I can do anymore. So she suggested soup broth, so I've been drinking a little bit of that. It's odd because it feels like lunch without substance, but it's helping, so I'm cool with it. Here's just the mudroom. The mudroom was more just a way to not have like this weird awkward space because I wanted a bathroom and stuff, and I do think in real life a mudroom makes sense. I kind of wish we had a mudroom in this house. It's the one thing that I had been like, if I could change I would, and honestly I even know how I would change it, but like, so like there's a bathroom right next to my back door, and then the back door leads into this really long hallway that loops around the living room. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's because it's like a bunch of add-ons because my house is really old, but not all of it is really old. And what I've thought on several occasions is, what if I took that bathroom and like just brought it out into the hallway and made it a mudroom? Because you know what I would kill for? Speaking of dogs, a dog wash station. Do you know how nice? My dog is 90 pounds. Well, one of them is 3 pounds. I have a 3-pound dog and a 90-pound dog. Do you know how hard it is to bathe a 90-pound dog with the zoomies? Even getting him into the tub. The other thing too is my 90-pound dog thinks he's 3 pounds, so I have to like lift him into the car, lift him into the tub, because he's convinced he can't do it. He's convinced he can't jump. The fact that he can jump on my bed but not into my car when they are the same height, very confusing. And for those of you being like, your car sounds tall, it is. It's got an off-road package on it. I didn't put the off-road package on it. It came that way, but it is pretty tall. It's not lifted, but it's just like tall for road height, you know? But yeah, so I would kill to have a mudroom. This mudroom is more just like a collection of like outdoor stuff, which would be good too. If I had my druthers, the mudroom would still probably be a bathroom, but it would just be, because like I live on a farm, I'm tracking dirt and stuff in all the time. Like it would be really nice to have like a, you are too gross to come into my house area. But then we would lose a bathroom, so I don't know. So you'd still have to maybe keep it separate. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, well, it'd be $1 million anyway, so whatever. And then this little bathroom, and I did leave this bathroom, and I think I cut out the other bathroom because they are functionally exactly the same. They're like a slightly different layout, but they're functionally exactly the same. There's 2 tubs, so you could have a toddler or a pet. Both of those require bathtubs. Although, point of note, I really think it would be nice if the Sims team made it so little pets could be washed in the sink. Because my little pet is washed in the sink. I have a farmhouse sink. He is 3 pounds. It is a match made in heaven. Because quite frankly, he's little enough. It's hard to wash him in the tub. He can like escape. And like I have to basically be in there with him. But like then my clothes are all wet. It's a whole thing. So he gets washed in the farmhouse sink. He's napping. I looked back to see if he realized I was talking about him. So, and then we did a front entryway as well. Again, just to kind of like prevent those like awkward spaces. A lot of houses, I have them just walk in the living room. But in this case, I thought a formal entryway would be nice. Although I will say it's a tiny formal entryway. Teeny weeny. And I feel like this house maybe is a little bit more closed off and formal than the exterior gives it credit for. Like the exterior feels very contemporary. And the interior feels a little bit more, I don't want to say traditional, but like I guess kind of traditional, you know? So anyways, here we're going into the kids' room. And like I said, it's definitely done in little kid, but the intention was that you could see some like teenager moments in there. I think I got close. I think I did okay. I definitely think it could be more teenagery. And if you're noticing that window looks weird, it's because that window is weird. There's no 4 windows across as a single thing. So it's a 3 window and then a 1 extra, because on the outside, the windows didn't want to line up ever, at all. It was such a pain. It was such a pain to get it to work, but we got there. So, but that window is like a little bit wonk, because no matter what you do, it's like a little bit off kilter. And then I got to use these, which I don't think I've ever like correctly used in a build, but I sized them down and suddenly loved them so much on that window. And they look so cute in this kid's room, and I don't know why I've never been able to make them work before, but I was able to make them work here. Those curtains are so dang cute. I loved them so much. And then there's a desk in the kids' room for homework, because I thought that was appropriate. Here you can see I'm trying to put a lamp where I want it, so we had to put a million lamps down to fill out the slots. There is also a desk gonna be out in the hallway with a I think I put a computer on it, or I intended to put a computer on it, but the idea was that's more like the family work zone where there's gonna be like a computer and stuff. There's no official office in this house, so that was the closest we got. But the kids, I wanted to have a homework zone, because I find in my gameplay the other students will sometimes steal homework, or like parents will clean it up and then your kid's homework is gone after they did it, and that's super annoying. And then you have to like either buy a new one, which is only $1, but it's still a thing. So I was like, having a quiet place for them to go do homework makes sense to me. So that's what we went ahead and did. And I put some pictures up. I struggled with what rug to put in for a while. This is actually a floor mat that I tried sizing up, and then I think I went with this one. Yeah, I've been using that rug a lot more lately. I really like that rug. I don't think I realized how good the texture of that rug is. That is a nice rug. I've used it a few different places in recent builds, and it's good. It's nice, and I don't know why I don't use it. I think it's one of those that suffers from the first swatch issue, right? Where like you see it and you're like, it's not really what I'm looking for, because the swatch is like super bright, but like it doesn't need to be super bright, you know? Like there are swatches like that one which are really lovely. This bedroom fought me for a little bit because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, and it kind of suffers from that beige house syndrome again, but I think it's okay. I think it looks okay. It's kind of pinky. It's got pink accents, and I ended up redoing the outside a little bit because I decided it was really just too important to me to have symmetrical windows. At least I think they're symmetrical. Now that I've said that, I'm going to be nervous. I put those little night lights on the bed frames just because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do lighting wise. Originally I thought too it would be nice to have like a hanging lamp on the one side that didn't have the window. Then you give me some time, I get fed up with it, and I put another window in. Here we go. I was like, don't worry, I get there in the end. I pop the window in where I want it. I do put another window in. It just, give it a second. Don't worry, we made the correct choice here. We made the correct choice. We shrunk the chimney a little bit. We put like a chimney like in. It comes together. So, and it doesn't even look that weird. I've seen chimneys like that in real life. In fact, there's a house I drive by on my way home occasionally that has like the most intricate chimney. It's like a 3-wide chimney. If it were in The Sims, it'd be like a 3-wide chimney, and then it goes into like a 2 on one side, and then it goes into a 1 off that 2, but on the other side, if that makes sense. The most intricate chimney. And it, like, reminds me, honestly, of a Pacific Northwest chimney. And I don't know why, because I don't live in the Pacific Northwest anymore. But I look at that and I'm like, that would be so, like, at home in the Puget Sound. And I don't know what about it makes me think that. But it's a wonky chimney. It's a pretty chimney. But that's why I didn't feel so bad about shortening this one. As I was like, it'll make sense. It's fine. Nobody's gonna care. It's not like it's an actual chimney. Hey Joe, what you doing? He just came in to check. He says hey. He's in and out. He's enjoying the freedom of Mom's doing stuff and her door isn't closed. Because he's usually either closed in here with me or closed out. Because I never record for more than like a couple hours at a time. I try to make sure I'm never like unavailable that long. But he's just finding this. I've been doing this with meetings too at work, which is a little bit more dangerous. Just because oftentimes there's people at home too. But I've been doing this a little bit at work with meetings, so that he can come in while he's got stitches and stuff and tell me if something's wrong, or like I can hear if there's something wrong, or I can hear if he's like licking or something. And he thinks it's the cat's meow. He thinks it's the greatest thing. He can just come and go anytime he wants. He doesn't have to ask for the door to be opened. He's gonna get so spoiled, and then he's gonna get stitches out, and he's gonna be impossible to live with. So, and he's getting to go basically everywhere right now because I don't want to leave him home by himself. So I keep like taking him anywhere I can, and either like sitting in the car with him or getting someone to sit in the car with him for me because it's too hot to leave him in the car by himself, so I have to have the car running. And so like this morning I had to drop off a family member at the mechanics, so he got to ride along, and then Watson got to ride along too. Watson hates car rides though. I feel so bad, but he also hates being left alone by himself. So there's this fun catch-22 of me going, you have to choose. You have to choose your poison. Do you want to be left alone by yourself, or do you want to go, you know? So, which they'll probably have to go again here, because I'm going to have to go pick up said family member. Or I guess drop them off to pick up their car would be the proper way to say that. So they're going to have to ride again. Oh boy. It's fine. So here I was putting together this little, balcony space, which I think is really cool. This is the part that was really based on that ad. And the thing is the roof was being obnoxious, so I just sort of put these giant planters so that you didn't have to deal with the roof. And now we're already in the screenshots, and I know what you're thinking, Amanda, you cut out all of the outside stuff. They corrupted, dude. I don't know what to do with it. The house was like a little bit cursed on the footage front. I lost so much footage on this house. But I think the outside's pretty cute. It just did a little bit of styling and stuff. It's just a little pretty greenhouse, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really would love to see if you guys play in this one. Send me screenshots and tell me all about the family and what they got going on. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm actually reasonably proud with how this turned out, considering I had no vibes from it the entire time. Like, it did not dictate anything at all. In the screenshots, too, you're going to see some weird stuff going on with the ceiling. I don't know. This has been happening with my game recently. There are ceilings. It's a fully enclosed room. It's one room. It's all put together. There will just be random chunks out of the ceiling, and I don't know how to fix it. It's in everything I build now. I can build a singular box, and there's chunks out of the ceiling. So I am sorry about that. You don't see it in gameplay. You just see it in tab mode. So, and I don't even know if it's going to be a thing for you. I think it might just be a thing for me. I don't really know. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you here with the screenshots. I'm really happy with this one. I think this one turned out good. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go check on the big dog. And I got a text in the middle of this saying, Amanda, I have news. So I'm going to go see what the news is. But I hope you're having a great day and you're feeling loved. And if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you're here hanging out. You make the world a better place just by being you. And you bring me and everyone around you so much joy. I will see you next, probably in a Minecraft video, ? And then in another speed build, which will be really fun and exciting. I've got a couple of ideas coming up here soon that I think are going to be fun. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see if I get time to build them. All right. I love you. Bye. Mwah.